Okay, so we'll start with it. So before that, now you might be sitting, half of you might be sitting on a chair properly with the head upright. Half of you might be on your bed still and keeping your laptop beside you in a standing position. That means giving pressure on your any of your arm, right or left arms, by holding, by supporting your head one side. So anything, okay, anything, you are balancing your body in different postures. Okay, so here the posture is a subconscious adjustment. Okay, it is like of you maintain balance by adjusting the tone in different muscles. Okay, by adjusting the tone in different muscles, you are maintaining the balance during displacement of the body. uh, it can be caused by gravity, that like you're falling. Okay, you might be falling, but you will try to adjust the position of the body. Okay, or you try to maintain the balance of the body. Or it can be by acceleration, you are trying to move. Okay, anything, you might be moving, you might be falling down in accordance with the gravity. Anything, you maintain your balance, you maintain the balance by adjusting the muscle tones. Okay, by adjusting the muscle tone of the tone of different muscles. Sometimes some muscle tone should increase, some other should relax, anything. So you are adjusting the tone of the muscle and maintain the balance in accordance with the gravity and in accordance with the acceleration of the body, movement of the body. And tone means partial contraction. It is a partial contraction. Okay, so with the help of this tone, the maintenance of the balance. It is a passive movement and it is associated with redistribution of tone. It is not you are eliminating the tone, or you are just attaining the tone. It is redistribution of tone from one group of muscle to the other group of muscles. Okay, so the tone of your legs while standing, the muscles of the legs while standing, while sitting is different, and tone of your neck muscles. Okay, neck muscles and trunk muscles while moving and while sitting is different. So you are redistributing the tonicity of the muscle, or tone of different group of muscles, or related muscles. Okay, so that is posture. Forgot to post the video. I'll minimize it here. And it is significant. The posture is significant to make the movements smooth and accurate. Okay, so you just have the concept. What is posture? Posture is the maintenance of equilibrium with the help of tone, muscle tone, with the help of redistribution of muscle tone during movement, or during following the gravity. Okay, and that posture, it is significant in making the movement smooth and accurate. Okay, the redistribution of muscle tone should be there for the smooth movement and accurate movement. Okay, the movement should be smooth and accurate, precise. What you intend, that should be done, or that has to be done. And to maintain the line of gravity, constant line of gravity, that is the center of gravity, and to maintain the equilibrium of the body in accordance with the gravity. So for these purposes, you have to redistribute the muscle tone properly, which is called as posture. Okay, so in one word, you can say redistribution of muscle tone and related muscle according to the movement is called as posture. Okay, and we'll see what helps, or what creates a posture and maintains the posture. And this posture is done by muscle tone. Okay, we've been talking about muscle tone and stretch reflex. Okay, muscle tone and stretch reflex. Muscle tone, or tone of the muscle, is, it is like continuous partial contraction. Okay, or a passive. It is like it is called passive also. Continuous passive muscle contraction is called as with vigor and tension is called as muscle tone. Okay, you can see here in this you see this muscle tone in the neck muscles. The baby is able to keep the head upright. Okay, so here the muscle, this is called as tone to keep the head in. This helps the baby to keep the head in its position. See here, it is hypotonicity. Okay, so the baby is not able to keep its head in proper position to balance the body. Okay, so this muscle tone, it helps to maintain the posture. And muscle tone means it is continuous passive partial contraction of muscles. Okay, partial contraction of muscles, and it is a product, or it is done by, or the structures involved in maintaining the muscle tone, or what do you call this one, development of muscle tone is muscle spindle. You can see a muscle spindle in the center of this muscle and a gamma motor neuron. Okay, these two structures you need to develop the muscle tone, a muscle spindle and a gamma motor neuron. This muscle spindles are like these are the groups of what do you call this intrafusal muscles, groups of intrafusal muscles. You have seen extrafusal and intrafusal muscles. Extrafusal muscle is the actual contractile units of the muscle. Okay, the regular contractile units of the muscles are the extrafusal. Intrafusal means they are less contracting muscles. Okay, less contracting muscles. They contract very less only, and then a few group of intrafusal muscles, they are what do you call enclosed in a connective tissue is called as a muscle spindle. Okay, so these, and then this gamma motor neuron, these together constitute for the development of a muscle tone. So it is present in all the skeletal muscle, and this tone, muscle tone is more in anti-gravity muscles. Okay, you can see in the neck muscles. Neck muscle is in continuous tonic contraction to keep the head upright. Okay, and extensors of the lower limb, the extensor muscles of the thighs to keep the legs as the pillars to hold the weight of the body. Okay, the whole weight of the body. And trunk muscles. All these muscles are the anti-gravity muscle, and tone is more in these anti-gravity muscles. So you just imagine the standing position. Okay, in standing position, your extensor muscles of lower limbs, and your trunk muscles and neck muscles, all the contraction, tonic contraction or continuous contraction of these muscles help you to keep the body in the upright position. And when you change the tone, when you stretch your extensor muscles, okay, or when the flexor muscles are in action, you are able to move. What you are doing, you are just redistributing the tone in the extensor muscle to the flexor muscles, and now flexor muscles are contracting, and you are able to walk, okay, or move the legs. So that is called a change in muscle tone from one muscle to the other muscle, or redistribution of the muscle tone enables the movement of different parts of the body. And neck also, neck, you can change the rotate the head by changing the tone of different neck muscles. And you see how the development. So you need gamma motor neurons and alpha motor neurons. Okay. So here gamma motor neurons, they innervate the intrafusal muscles in the muscle spindles. Okay, intrafusal muscles in the muscle spindle. We can see here this anterior gray horn, gamma motor lower motor neurons. Okay, so upper motor neurons innervate on the lower motor neurons. Yesterday you have seen all these. So these gamma motor neurons, they innervate on the muscle spindle. Okay. So these muscle spindles, they detect the stretch of the muscle. Any stretching you have seen in the stretch receptors, stretch reflexes. When you study the reflex action, you have seen the stretching of a muscle as detected by the muscle spindle. Okay, these are the group of intrafusal fibers, muscle fibers. And this detection is carried to the spinal cord by the sensory fibers. Okay, by the sensory group or branch of fibers to the again back to the spinal cord. So the center of muscle tone is in the spinal cord itself with the help of supraspinal regions like brain. So here it goes to the anterior gray horn again. Here they make synapse with the alpha motor neurons. Okay, alpha motor neurons, and this alpha motor neuron again goes back to the extrafusal muscle for a contraction. Okay, so this muscle tone is a reflex process. The stretch of the muscle is detected by the uh, actually this gamma motor neuron, the supply of the gamma motor neuron causes the contraction of these muscles, or and the stretch is detected by stretching of this muscle, and that is detected by the muscle spindle, which causes efference from the alpha motor neuron on to the extrafusal muscles. Okay, extrafusal fibers, and that causes contraction of the muscle, extensor muscle, leading to the development of the muscle tone. And that muscle tone is continuously maintained by regulation. Okay, regulation by the supraspinal centers. Supraspinal means the structures above the spinal cord. Here, the structures above the spinal cord to control the activities are the brain centers. Okay, by facilitatory and inhibitory impulses, there are some. Sometimes you need facilitation or reinforcement of the muscle tone. Sometimes you need inhibition of the muscle tone. Okay, so the facilitatory centers are like you have yesterday you have seen reticulospinal tracts, medullary and pontine branches. Okay, so in that reticular descending nerves, red nucleus, vestibular apparatus, and cerebellum, and one more cerebral cortex. Okay, cerebral motor area of the cerebral cortex. All these are the facilitatory centers. And inhibitory centers include basal ganglia. So you have seen, you have studied in basal ganglia. Basal ganglia helps to decrease the muscle tone. Okay, helps to decrease the muscle tone. That's why the destruction of the basal ganglia causes rigidity or tremors in the muscle, continuous contraction of the muscle. So basal ganglia is an inhibitory center for the muscle tone, and inhibitory branches of the reticulospinal tract. All these suppress the tone. Okay, so by the inhibitory and facilitatory centers of the supraspinal region, the tone is regulated and created or developed by the help of gamma motor neurons and muscle spindle. Okay, and maintenance of posture. To maintain the posture, you have seen one is tone and the other is stretch reflex. Stretch reflex, you can see here, extensor, stretching of the extensor muscles of the leg helps to keep the erector, upright position of the body. Okay, and most of the stretch reflexes causes continuous contraction of the extensor muscles. Okay, extensor muscle uh, continuously contracts, prolonged contraction during stretch reflexes, and this serves, the stretch reflexes is especially is to maintain the upright position of the body, and this is a spinal reflex with the help of supraspinal control. And then comes postural. So you have seen the posture is maintained, or continuous maintenance of the posture is done by stretch reflex and muscle tone. Okay, so muscle tone and stretch reflex are involved for the maintenance of the posture. And now we can see other postural reflexes which helps to maintain the postures. Okay, what do you call, now we can see afferent and efferent impulses. Like to you need to maintain the posture by adjusting or by knowing the position of the body in the in the air or in the space. You call as a space. In the space, what is your position of the body? It is a background of your movement. Okay, if you want to if you want to move to another place, if your position is in sitting, so in that, accordingly, you, with the help of the vision, with the help of the proprioceptors and your vestibular apparatus in the brain, you make arrangements of the movements. Okay. So the afferent impulses for maintaining the postural reflexes or for evoking a postural reflex, the afferent impulses are: one is your vision. Okay. Your retina of the eye. It gives visual impulses giving awareness of the situation of the body. With the help of your vision, you can make you will come to know how your body is in the space. And if you are blindfolded also, you will be knowing the position of the body by the information from proprioceptors. Okay, means the joints, the receptors from your joints. And your vestibular apparatus, in the inner ear there is a structure called as vestibular apparatus, which gives the awareness of the body position in the space. So these are the three receptors or three sensation which make you aware of the position of the body in the space: retina of the eye, proprioceptors, and vestibular apparatus. These are the afferent impulses. And with the help of these sensory impulses, you make movement of the body or equilibrium, you maintain the equilibrium of the body and the centers of origin of efferent impulses towards the muscles. The origin is from the cerebral cortex, cerebellum, brainstem, and spinal cord. These are the centers for the efferent impulses. And now we'll see the postural reflexes are classified generally into static and statokinetic. So from you can see the names: static, stagnant. Okay. So these reflexes helps to maintain the posture at rest, resting state. During resting state, the posture is maintained by static reflexes. And then statokinetic reflexes or phasic. You can see kinetic. It is related to movement. Reflexes which maintain posture during a movement. It is elicited by acceleratory displacement of the body. Okay. This is gravitational. Static reflexes is elicited by gravitational pull. Okay. It can be falling also. Gravitational pull. And it is involved sustained muscle contraction. In statokinetic, there is redistribution of tone, okay, muscle tone. And we'll see static reflexes. Static reflexes, they maintain posture at rest and are of four types. General static reflexes, or it is also called as writing reflexes. Local static or supporting reflexes, segmental static, and statotonic or attitudinal reflexes. And we'll see in static reflexes, we'll see writing reflexes. Writing reflexes means it is actually correcting. The reflex is to help them maintain an upright position of the body. Correcting also. Okay, correcting the body position to maintain the upright position. And these writing reflexes are not single one. They are a series of reflexes, one after the other, happening one after the other. You can see here 5 types. Labyrinthine reflex, acting on the neck muscle. Neck writing reflex acting on the body. Body writing reflex acting on the head. Body writing reflex acting on the body. It is like one after the other. And optical writing. And after in infants, you can see all these stage by stage. But after attaining or after complete development of the system, central nervous system, for an adult, the fifth one, the optical writing reflex, is more important. By seeing the situation of the surroundings, you can attain a proper position. Okay, you are seeing an inclined ramp to go down, you attain by seeing that inclination of the ramp itself. You will assume what type of the body posture should be attained. So optical writing reflex is more important in a well developed nervous system. having a well-developed system. So centers for writing reflexes are red nucleus in the midbrain and occipital lobe. For all these four, the first four, the center is red nucleus. And for optical writing reflex, the center is occipital lobe. We'll see the writing, you can see here. See, this is neck. See the baby. See if, what do you call it? According to the body position, if the body is in the air, if the body, first one, labyrinthine neck reflexes, you see the neck reflex, labyrinthine writing reflex on the neck reflex. So in this case, if the body is in the air, not shown here, if the body is in the air, okay, is in the air, you will try to, in that case there is no peripheral receptors are not activated, your labyrinthine organ, okay, your labyrinthine organ in the vestibular apparatus detects the movement of the body and tries to correct the neck muscles to attain the proper position, okay, correction of the neck muscle to attain the proper position. And then after the neck muscles are corrected, neck muscles are held in proper position, the contraction of the neck muscle, they try to act on the body. They try to correct the position of the body. Okay. And then if the body, and now you can see here, see, after the neck is corrected, the body, they try to correct the body position. See, body position. And if this labyrinthine apparatus is not there, the body itself can act on the body. Okay, after the neck muscles, correction of the neck muscles, neck try to correct on the body, and body also gives information, or the body receptors on the body also tries to correct the head, and body also acts on the complete correction of the position of the body, the informations of the proprioceptors from the body. See, just turn by step turning of the baby. Supine position, they try to flex and rotate the leg first, then trunk and head follow in one movement. Okay, see this. This baby is trying to move. See, here the pressure on the back side causes the movement of the head and body to one side, and this also can happen in the opposite way also. If the baby is lying on one side, the pressure on that one side causes the baby turning to either supine or prone position. And optical writing, I have told, by seeing the situation of the surroundings, we can correct the body, initiated through the retinal impulses. And supporting this local static reflexes, we have seen writing reflexes. The next one is local static reflexes or supporting reflexes. In this the body reflexes support the body in different position against the gravity, and also it helps protect the limbs against hyperextension or hyperflexion. In this, there are two reflexes, two types are there: positive and negative. Positive means reinforcing. If you are standing, it helps the reinforcing of the tone of the muscles in the extensor muscles of the thigh and neck and trunk, to keep reinforcing of the upright position, or it helps the legs to keep as pillars to hold the weight of the body. Okay, it is reinforcing the tonicity, and that is called as positive supporting reflexes. In negative supporting reflexes, it helps the relief of the tone and causes movement of the body. Okay, again, if it is overextension of the muscle, causes flexion of the muscle and causes movement of the body. It is negative. It is a support or protective, because it prevents the hyperextension of the leg muscles or anything, whichever the muscles are hyperextended, causes flexion of that muscle or relaxation of that muscle, and movement, or enables movement of the body. So that is called as negative supporting. It is not reinforcing. Reinforcing is called as positive. And the center is in the spinal cord. And this is static reflex. Another classification is segmental reflex. This we have learned: crossed extensor, walking. Okay, this helps in walking. And during walking, see, one muscle, flexor is active, or there will be muscle tone in the flexor muscles, and in the other leg there will be tone in the extensor muscles. Okay, one muscle there will be flexion, and in the other muscle there will be extension. That aids to balance the body weight of to balance the weight of the body and enables a walking. And this also, there are reciprocal innervations. So this cross extensor you have seen in the reflex portion. So same thing, reflexes are, the centers are in the spinal cord. And classification of another one, static reflexes, statotonic or attitudinal. So this involves, it depends on the attitude of the body. There are tonic, labyrinthine reflexes on the muscles and neck, limbs and neck, and acting on the eye. Two are there. You can see, we'll see tonic, labyrinthine reflexes. You see here, what do you see? See the it increases or decreases the muscle tone according to the position of the head. You see the head of the baby here. The increase or decrease in the muscle tone of the limbs. You can see increase or see the different position of the limbs. Here, when the head is dorsiflexed, see dorsiflexed head, it causes extension of the limbs, maximal extension of the limbs. Okay. And if the head is ventriflexed, it causes flexion of the muscles. Okay, flexion of the muscles. You just imagine you are in a inclined ramp. Okay, you attain a position. How will you attain? You just see the falling and diving. In diving, you have suppressed all these tonic, labyrinthine reflexes, and consciously you attain a position. But while falling, you see here your labyrinthine reflexes are activated, and the body is trying to attain the safest position by keeping the neck right and wide extended limbs. Okay, and another one, just if you turn one side, if you turn onto one side of the body, there will be rigidity of the muscles on that side, keeping or to maintain the weight of the body in that side. Okay, see here you cannot hold the weight of the body. So the tonicity will be more in this region, those muscles onto which side you are moving. Okay, you are turning. So that side muscles will be under chronic tonicity. This is a side plank position. Okay, it's tonicity, which helps to bear the weight of the body in that position. And one more thing, just imagine that you are a tall subject, and see the what do you call, the size area of your foot. You are maintaining this entire tall body on this foot while standing upright. Okay, so that is called as actually posterior equilibrium. So here, same like your tonicity of these muscles help to maintain the body, or to bear the weight of the body, total weight of the body in properly without falling. Okay, so this is called as labyrinthine reflex, tonic labyrinthine, and labyrinthine reflex and neck reflex on the eyes. It is like you see the position of the body and attain a position. You say like this. Okay, you're seeing the surroundings and you're attaining the position. This baby is not developed. For here, the labyrinthine tonic reflexes affected. And statokinetic reflex, this like maintain the posture during movement. You are intentionally moving, your body is moving, and then you have to maintain the posture, and that is done by the help of the vestibular apparatus. Okay, so vestibular apparatus will cover in the next session. So here, static reflexes, statokinetic will take in the next class. Static reflexes, so it is a kind of postural reflex, and in that there are different types: writing reflexes, supporting reflexes, segmental, and attitudinal. In writing reflexes, it is step by step or face by face reflex. In neck writing, body writing, neck writing and body writing with the help of labyrinthine and with the help of the body itself, proprioceptors of the body itself, and optical writing. And this you can see step by, just imagine a baby turning side by side. And and then supporting reflexes, positive and negative. Positive supporting reflex, imagine you are standing for a longer time, it reinforces the extends the tone in the muscle tone in the extensor muscles of the legs, trunks, and neck. Okay, to keep the legs as pillars to bear the weight of the body and continue the standing. Negative means you flex the muscles and make a movement that is to prevent the hyperextension or hyperflexion. Okay, in case of flexion you extend the muscle. Okay, that is also protective reflex. And segmental reflex, it is crossed extensor reflex, helps you to walk. In that case, while one muscle is flexed, the other muscle is extended. The muscle on the other limb is extended. Okay, in case of hands also, swinging of the hands also. Okay, one side flexion while other side extension. And labyrinthine reflex, this helps you to maintain the body position in the by controlling the acting on the limbs, and with the help of the eyes also, visual reflexes. uh, this is like rotation of the head. Okay, labyrinthine and neck reflexes acting on the eyes is rotation of the head and neck muscles according to the visual impulses. And this is like when dorsiflexion and ventriflexion of the head, the movement of the limb, maximal extension and flexion of the limb according to the movement of the head, and with the help of the vision, and then continuous contraction of the muscle to maintain the balance of the body or to bear the weight of the body onto that side. So these are the postural, static postural reflexes, and next session we'll discuss about the statokinetic postural reflexes with the help of the vestibular apparatus. Okay, so read today itself, and you have a next session. After that session, in the afternoon session, you have to read this. Tomorrow we'll discuss the questions till this topic. Okay, till this topic, and we have more topics in this, like higher functions of the brain and the EEGs, etc. So till this topic, we will discuss the questions tomorrow. So for that, you have to read this. Okay, I'll explain how to write and all. For that, you need to know, you should have a complete awareness. Okay, so we can end the meeting. It is less than 1 minute now. Okay, thank you.